Online image hosting services like Google Photos, Dropbox, Flickr, and others can get expensive over time. So today, I want to show you a free Android application that you can use to back up your pictures and videos on your smartphone to an external storage device. This could be one of those small USB-C thumb drives or an NVMe drive inside an enclosure like I have right here, or even one of those massive 20 terabyte external hard drives that are on the market. It will all depend on how much is in your budget for this project. I bought this enclosure and the 2 terabyte NVMe drive separately for around $100, but I'll have a video talking about this later on this week. For this project, we're going to be using a free Android application called FolderSync. I'll have the Google Play app page linked below this video, but I'll also have a download mirror to the same version that I have installed on this device. That way, if the developer tries to put the free backup features behind a paywall in a future update, then you can always come back and get this specific version. Now, when you first launch the application, you're going to have to agree to the terms of service, and then you're going to have to accept the privacy policy. Then, you're going to be taken to a page showing you details about the permissions that are required for the app to work properly. Naturally, we're going to need to grant the app access to our storage. So we'll tap on this red exclamation icon right here and grant it storage permissions. And you may also want to grant the permission for the app to send you notifications. So again, we tap on that and we allow that permission. Now the other ones listed here are likely not going to be needed for this specific project. So we're going to tap on finish from here, but keep that in mind just in case you start using this app more extensively in the future. We're going to be keeping our photos and videos private and backed up locally with the FolderSync application. So there's not going to be any need to create an account from here. So we're just going to tap on OK. With the permission stuff out of the way, let's force close the application real quick. So let's minimize it and then swipe it away from our recents page. Then we're going to plug in our external storage device. And you'll want to wait a few seconds for Android to mount the drive properly. Then you can go ahead and open up the FolderSync application again. When you're back into the app, we're going to be creating a folder pair. So tap on the floating icon right here, labeled Create Folder Pair. And we can name this whatever we want. I'm going to be naming it Media, since I'll be backing up both photos and videos. But again, we just need a label here so that we can recognize what this task is. And then we're going to be selecting the to the right folder on our sync type. We're going to leave our sync engine the same. And now we scroll down to the bottom where it shows a left account or a right account. And this is where you're going to set up how the backup process will work. Since our sync type is from left to right, that means our source is going to be in the left-hand side. So we're going to tap on the select folder option right here. And then we're going to find what folder we want to back up. Most stock cameras on Android end up backing stuff into the DCIM folder. And some devices you'll even see screenshots saved here as well. So if you only want to back up your camera photos and videos, then you could select the DCIM/camera folder. If you want all of this, then you could just select the DCIM folder. Hell, you could even select the entire phone storage just to make sure that you're backing up every single thing that you have on the device every single time you have a chance. Just to give you a heads up, these are the test images that I have in the DCIM/camera folder. So that's what we're going to back up here. We're going to back up the DCIM camera folder. Once we have selected that folder and we are in that folder, we're going to tap on that select button down there at the bottom. And you'll see the path reflected here down here as well. Now we're going to move on to where we want the contents of this folder to be backed up to. So we select the folder and we're going to tap on the actual source here, which is going to be that micro SD card icon. And then we're going to select the USB or card icon that appears here. And here is the NVMe drive that we have connected via the USB port. Now, I actually recommend that you create a folder here. Since this is a Galaxy phone, I'll be naming this folder Galaxy. And then I can tap into that folder and then select that folder. So now you can see this app is going to be backing up the contents of this folder into this folder when the sync is started. So we're going to tap on save to save all of this. And this is actually going to bring you to the settings area for this specific sync. We're going to have a summary of what we set up down here. And then we have our options here. Since we're going to be backing this stuff manually, we don't need to mess with the scheduling here. So we'll move over to the sync options section. These are going to be the default settings here. I actually do not want to disable the checksum calculation, so I uncheck that. I like this setting set to never overwrite those old files, and then telling the app to rename the newest one if the remote file has been modified. We can come down here. You can tell the app to move files to your external storage if you wanted by selecting this option here. That way your internal storage is cleared up each time that you back up your files. This is not required, and I prefer to do the deleting manually, so I do not check this in my setup. But it's up to you, and it is safe to use in this way if that's what you wanted. I just want to make sure that I have a secondary backup of my images before I delete from the source, since you really never know when a hard drive will reach its end of life cycle. But again, it's completely up to you. You can even tell the app to sync your files to a time-stamped folder if you wanted to. Now, for connection, we're not going to be using Wi-Fi here, so there's no need to have these selected. However, if you look at the bottom, there are some notification options that can be really useful. I like to show notification on success sync, and I like to show notification on a sync error as well. If you wanted to, you could set up a filter within the FolderSync application. That way you can only back up photos, or you can only back up videos. Basically, you can filter out the file type that you don't want from here. Or you could tell it to only back up specific file types from here. So We're going to go up here toward the top, and we're going to tap the back arrow to save this FolderSync. And you'll see that within the FolderSync tab here. The goal here is to provide you with a quick and easy way of backing up the contents of your phone, be it photos, videos, movies, music, games, whatever it is. To make this easy, we're going to be creating a widget for our home screen, and then we're going to pick the folder pair as we set up. So we go to our home screen, long press, select widgets, and then we find FolderSync from this list. We're going to drag this widget to the home screen, and when we let it go, it's going to ask us to actually set it up. And you don't have to mess with anything here, but you can double check to make sure that it is set up correctly. For example, this drop-down menu, it's going to list all of your folder pairs, or it's going to list all of your favorites, or all of your events. We're just going to keep that set to folder pair. We're going to make sure this is set to the actual task, the actual folder pair that we created, and then we're going to tap the big add button down here. It'll ask us to confirm if we do want to add that to the home screen, and then it will actually create that icon for us and put it on the home screen. Now, when you're ready to test the background process, again, you want to make sure that your external storage is plugged in, or you have your micro SD card inserted into the device, and then you're going to want to find that widget that you created. But real quick, just as a reminder, here is that USB storage device that we have. And here is that folder that we created specifically for this backup. So you can see there's nothing in this folder. But when we go and we tap on that widget that we created, you won't really see it do anything unless you have a lot of photos for it to back up. But if you set it up like I showed you, you will get a notification telling you that the media, or whatever you named it, has successfully synced. You'll see how many things that it synced and how many that it deleted. Because again, we did not set it up to delete it right now. But when we go back to that folder, you can see those files are right there. And remember, these are safe to delete from our source. So we can go in and we can actually delete these images. Permanently deleted. Even though those are gone, we still have these from here. Even after we initiate another sync and it's successful, we do not end up losing the images and videos on our external device, because we set up FolderSync to only back up the contents to that external device. We are not at risk of having the app delete those images just because we deleted them from our phone. We're getting to the point where monthly subscriptions are eating away at our budget, bit by bit. So in those times when we need to cut back and watch our budget, I hope a guide like this is able to help to save you some money. I do recognize that there is an upfront cost here with the external storage, whether that's a micro SD card, an NVMe drive inside an enclosure like I have here, or one of those big external hard drives. But if you're good at following a budget, or if you just don't like the idea of uploading your pictures and videos to an online server somewhere, then setting up a backup system like this is a great way to keep your memory safe. As always, if you had any question about this guide, or if you ran into any issues following along, then please do not hesitate to leave a comment down below. I can't promise that I'll be able to reply to everyone, but I will be here to help when I can. If you think setting up a system like this is a good idea, then please give this video a like and share it with anyone else that you think could be a good fit for it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel either for more Android tips like this.